the 14th of January 2025. This water has been running into our property since the 31st of December 2024. 14 days, silt water running into our property non-stop. 14 days. Prior to the development, this ran once or twice a year after significant rainfall events. It ran after the rain and then it stopped. It did not continue to run for 14 days after the rain. I've been trying to clean up my garden here, pulling weeds out of silt, watching my succulents in the garden die, having to pull out rotted ones. Heartbreaking. The whole ground here is still saturated, completely saturated underfoot, unable to mow, certainly can't mow this part. This garden over here, silt all along the edge, silt in the garden. Plants completely ripped out of the ground here, silt through everything. Silt up over this tyre, you can see how high it came, all the way in, all along the edge of this garden, destroying plants as it went. See what I'm having to walk through to access the garden. Silt all through the grass, all the way up here, all through the garden. All through the garden. Still finding rubbish as I'm weeding. 2 weeks later, still finding rubbish that has been washed in from the estate across the road. It's the next day. It's the 15th of January 2025. As you can see, there's still silt-filled water running into our property. It's been running non-stop for 15 days since New Year's Eve. No clue when we might be able to mow this area of our property. Still running silt water down into the dam next door. Been trying to weed this garden here. Extremely difficult. Had no idea how heavy this stuff, mud, silt, whatever it's called, was. When you are trying to weed it, extremely heavy. My garden edge here has been completely buried. I'm not even game to try and remove that until this issue's fixed, because it's just going to do it again or wash away and end up who knows where. You can see the extent of the silt all through this garden. Disgusting. Trying to get a handle on the weeds, walking through water to get into this garden. 15 days since it rained. Still completely sodden all through here. Massive puddles of water and sludge through here. Can't use this part of our property at all. All wet all the way up to here, even though the water's not running here. This is still saturated all through here. Still rocks here that washed in off our driveway. Bits that I couldn't get scraped up. 26 days water has been running into our property from this silt basin. The council is well aware of this. The contractor and the council have gone away on holidays for Australia Day and left this like this. How is it possible that this still has water in it when it's been running non-stop for 26 days into our property? Why is there still water in here? Why has this not been desilted? If we get a storm, we're going to lose our driveway again. 26 days, non-stop, silt, mud, sludge, algae running into our property since New Year's Eve when our property was destroyed. You can see here the drain on the council strip full of algae. There's the culvert running into what is not an easement. Yet again, this is not an easement running into private property. This water has been running into our property for 26 days straight. Council have been made aware of the issue, and yet the water continues to run. This whole area is saturated. This is completely full of algae all through this entire area here. This patch of grass I used to use to mow and rake for mulch on gardens. As you can see, it is now full of nut grass. Unusable. Not going to be able to get rid of this nutgrass without using chemicals. We don't like using chemicals, but there's no other way to get rid of this invasive, horrible weed that has been washed in with this sludge. This sludge that's been running for 26 days, non-stop. How is there even that much water to come in for 26 days? You can see here there's algae all through here. Haven't been able to mow, can't use this part of our property at all for basically this whole year. Since New Year's Eve, when our driveway and other parts of our property was destroyed, this water has run non-stop since then. Non-stop. Why is this being allowed to continue? That's the question. This water runs all the way through our property, all the way down there, taking nutgrass and various other weeds all the way until it goes into the neighbour's dam and continues to put more silt and who knows what other contaminants into his dam. These other weeds were not growing here. This silt-laden water is killing our grass and replacing it with weeds, various different types of invasive weeds. And there's even algae all the way down here. This is a large section of our property rendered unusable, degraded, and it just keeps continuing. 3.5 months now this issue has been continuing for. 3.5 months. And now this water runs non-stop for 26 days. And nothing is being done about it. We've made council aware, we've made our local Member of Parliament, Jim McDonald, aware. He was well aware there was water continuously running in, and yet it doesn't stop. Nothing's done. It just continues. And another patch, large patch of nutgrass here, full of seed head. This will also be washing into neighbour's property. This tree has been underwater now, its roots, for 26 days, as it's pooling right next to it, with nutgrass all through the grass there as well. Really, really unimpressed. Also have notified the Queensland Ombudsman, who doesn't believe this is an environmental problem, that there's nothing they can do about it either. So, great.